Hello, love to you and all your loved ones, in all times and all dimensions. I've talked before about the only choice to make is high vibration or low vibration. But I want to throw in some other things, some Buddhist ideas, but also science. The Russian scientist Dr. Gariev, G-A-R-I-A-E-V, Gariev, amazing scientist. He studied DNA and he found that DNA is not static. It's dynamic. It changes. Um, it can actually change locations too. So he found that lights and sound will change the DNA and make it uncoil, or it could make it contract. And so the contracting would be like fear, which is what we do when we are afraid, We hide our neck, we hide our belly, we contract. So we do the exact same thing. Low vibration would be fear, and you could say love is high vibration in its many forms. We get too stuck on thinking love is one type of thing, but it's very broad. In fact, people, spiritual masters always talk about all there is love, or all there is bliss. All I know is in Buddhist teachings, for instance, they say that if you just focus on doing the right things, then the compassion will naturally arise. If you're just mindful and you have devotion to your guru or to a certain deity, those are just tools. It's using love. That's all it is. It's not about worshiping some human that has flaws. That's not the point. The point is for you. It's your benefit, because you're going to be outside of yourself, get out of your own ego, which lets go of fear. See, love or fear, okay? And then you're using your heart, devotion, which is love, and then it raises your vibration, and then you're more likely to find liberation from suffering, enlightenment, and that's the way to get to these complex ideas like emptiness, non-duality. So, if you don't get that, it doesn't matter. So all it is love and compassion. You use love and compassion to get to the goal, which would be to realize emptiness, to realize non-duality, that there's no difference between you and me, and you realize oneness. That's all it means. Not just mentally, but you actually realize it, experience it, embody it. Okay, so back to the scientist. So he was using light and sound, and then the DNA would like suck up the laser, for instance, and then it would unwind, it would relax, love, relaxation. These are all high vibrational things, so that's why the DNA would kind of unwind. And then certain other vibrations or frequencies of light and vibrations of sound would contract it. And I'll just throw in that Garchen Rinpoche said, if you trust in love and compassion, then you trust in karma. Because people get confused, they think, karma, and they think, well, I don't believe in it because past lives and future lives. But, okay, fine, just apply it to this life. If you know that if you have a lot of love in your heart and you work on it, You don't just talk about it or think about it, you actually work on it, embody it. Um, love for, that's why when you fall in love, you feel good. Life seems to go better. When something bad happens, you don't really care. It's just because of the high vibration. That's all it is. So we don't have to fall in love to use love to help us in life. There was a story about a Tibetan, old Tibetan lady, and she became enlightened by worshiping a tooth. Well, not worshiping, but having devotion for a tooth, because she thought it was the Buddha's tooth, but it was really a dog tooth. See, so it doesn't matter. It's just a tool. Love is just the tool you use to get to the goal, and I guess love is the goal too, loving all beings. But love is the path and the goal. It's very simple, you know. I used to read all these texts and it was really complicated, but really it's just love and compassion, and everything falls into place when you do that because you're high vibration. So here's another side of it. People don't like to, it might be uncool to think of monks that renunciate like, I'm not gonna eat meat, I'm not gonna have sex, I'm not gonna, or at least have, you know, like, I'm not gonna cheat at least, or I'm not going to have sex with people and then just use them for that and then run away, you know. But, you know, all the way to not having sex at all. I'm not going to, you know, curse. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. So that's renunciation. Which seems like, oh, well, I like to have fun, or I like to just do whatever I want to do. Basically, you just, you know, I'll just say like you're self-centered because you just don't care. You just do whatever you want to do at the whims of your negative emotions, at the whims of your negative thoughts. You don't want to be tied down, and you want to let your negative emotions and negative thoughts just do whatever they do to you. Okay, but the point here is not that. It's just that virtue is just being a good person, not having anger, working on that, not having jealousy, envy, pride, etc., etc. Now, why does that work to get to these spiritual goals once again? It's because it's high vibration. You're being high vibration. So, just like we use love as the path and the goal, high vibration in this way is virtue, ethics, that's all, you know. So people think of it as boring or something, but ethics just makes you high vibration, and it also makes your life easier, so you're not going to have stress. For instance, if you're going to sleep with someone and then say sorry, see you later, and then you start sleeping with someone else, that person's going to, you know, harass you possibly. Then you might regret it, you might feel bad, and you're going to be torn as far as who, you know, I'm screwed up, but I just want more sex, so, you know, blah blah blah. So that's just one example of many. So that just shows how ethics and trying to be virtuous helps, because it just makes you high vibration, and it makes your life high vibration, meaning no drama. And other things too, but that's a very easy way to put it. So, there you go. I throw all this in together. There's a high vibrational choice and a low vibrational choice in every moment. And then after a while, you either live a generally high vibrational life or a low vibrational life. Let's bring it on home. I'll say, you know, there's love, okay? The ultimate kind of love is for all beings, not a subjective love, not a conditional love. We can think of unconditional love as for all things and all beings, even your enemies, like Jesus said. So, what is love? Like I said earlier, people always talk about when you do these spiritual practices, mindfulness, meditation, practicing virtue, um, love and compassion, cultivating love and compassion, trying to get rid of negative emotions and thoughts, then the love and compassion naturally arises. Good things naturally arise. Bliss naturally arises. And that's because you're undoing. So that's all you have to do. So at least on some level, love, compassion, bliss is just foundational for us. It's just a basic thing. It's a natural part of who we are. It's a natural part of your mind once you let go of all the BS. So one easy way to put it is get rid of the fear, and then the only thing that remains is just the love. And people say, oh yeah, okay, what is love? The absence of fear. But that's not easy though. There's so many fears that we have that are hiding inside, so you got to really work on it. And that's why you got to meditate or be mindful, use mindfulness. Try to be virtuous, cultivate love and compassion. So, there you go. I threw it all together. Peace, love, and happiness to everything and everyone, even my enemies, even Trump, even Pelosi, even Hitler, everyone, and everything. None of these things, none of us, nothing including us is really real. It's not really there anyways. Sure, if you want to understand something, look up the twofold truth. There's a relative truth that's really there. We experience things as real, like us, and when someone hits you, sure, it hurts. But ultimately, there's nothing there. I don't know if this is really true, but you can just say it's kind of like quantum. There's molecules and cells, and then there's the quantum, which is just the wave particle that just isn't really there. See, that's kind of how it works. Okay? Anyway, peace.